My name is Carys Ross. I'm currently a mass communications sophomore major here at Xavier University of Louisiana, and I'm here on behalf of the Xavier Library to talk with Miss Williams. How are you doing?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. And just to start off, could you tell us like a little bit more about you and your background?
Yeah, so again, Kimberly Jolivette Williams. I tell everybody I know it's a mouthful and it's long, but it's valuable and important to me. My
Mhm.
daddy didn't have any sons and he passed away when I was 12. So I carried the Jolivette to honor him. And I am a Raging Cajun Leo. I am from Opelousas, Louisiana, born and raised, and I am born July 30th. So I have been in this business of healthcare arena over 20 years. I have been in many roles. I've served as a supervisor for a large cardiovascular practice. I am currently an educator, been an educator. I've done training. I've been an abstract coder as a team lead. And currently, I'm working in the compliance department as a compliance coder, biller, and analyst. And I am an adjunct instructor for junior colleges in the Dallas, Fort Worth, Texas arena and the Houston arena. And I also am an instructor for the organization that provides the certification credentials for all medical coders and billers, which is AAPC. They have what they call a VILT, VILT, virtual instructor led training. And they do all sorts of courses: medical coding, medical billing and coding, auditing, specialty certifications. And so I am an instructor on that program as well.
Okay. And could you explain like a little bit more of what the average person would have to know about medical coding? Because I'm not
Yeah.
sure everybody has a good understanding.
Oh, yeah, sure. So for me, my Kimberlyism on it is that coding, one, it's one of the most important aspects to me of the healthcare industry. It is what makes everything responsible and translatable about that patient's information in a payer insurance language that is understood by those insurance companies and other medical professionals. That information is then generated into claims and bills in order to get reimbursement and payment for those medical services. It also enables providers by using those code sets that are put out by the AMA, our CPT, HCPCS, and then we have our ICD 10CM. Those code sets help to provide accurate billing and coding and translation of the treatments and procedures and any services that patients get for that patient experience that they have with those medical professionals.
Okay. And how or why did you get into this field? Why did you choose this
I'm gonna tell
specifically?
you, I honestly think the field chose me.
Mhm.
And I say that because I was young in high school. Excuse me. My last, I was a teenage pregnancy, and they told me about what they called a unit secretary. It was being offered at one of the local hospitals in Opelousas, Louisiana, and it was like a high school co-op kind of program. And
Mhm.
I got connected into that. And once I got into it, it changed the whole trajectory of my career and my insight. I saw how lucrative it was. I saw how you could get certified and you could build. And it also gave me a pathway because I wasn't sure if I wanted to do the college thing. I'd started college, but it kind of got hard once I became a single mom. And I was like, let me see how do I want to go about this? And it gave me a different career path for me to figure out. Maybe I can find me an alternative career trade platform until I kind of figured out what I wanted to do about this college and university thing. And the rest is history. I'm here now doing this.
Mhm. So, what would you say was the most difficult part of doing this and how you kind of turned it into an educational venture?
hmm And I'm going to tell you, the business of healthcare, I think the one challenge that all of us have in that arena is that it's constantly evolving. If we
Mhm.
cannot be sure of anything, we can be sure of change. change is going to happen. But I say change is a good thing, right? Because for what we do, we are having the medical treatments and procedures and ICD-10 codes of things that are treating diseases. They're curing patients. And so, in order for that to improve and to get better, we have to have change. So, I think change is a good thing, but it can be challenging. We have to make sure that we're committed to be lifetime learners because that's the only way you're going to stay relevant. That's the only way you'll know the current changes that are going on. And we have a day to day obligation to make sure that we're taking the time, we're making it our onus in order to know those changes and what's going on in that industry. It's just a must. So I think if I would say anything that's challenging, it's just making sure you have enough time to not only operate and do the functions of what the medical coding business of healthcare arena need, but you have to keep yourself educated. You have to keep
Mhm.
with the relevant information so that you're always on top of things and know what's going on. Again, you're a lifetime learner.
Mhm. And I know you touched a little bit on the certifications, and how do you think basically those would enhance the career of our students here, like that are pre-med or like speech pathology or biology? Like, how would those go into their career if they could?
I must tell you, one, certification is just validating. And especially if you're in any kind of medical clinician role, that affects your reimbursement. It affects how you're going to get paid, right? For the services you're providing. Knowing what medical coders and billers do as a clinician, you can partner with them. And that partnership will elevate you both. As a clinician and a physician or a physical therapist, you're going to elevate yourself because you're going to be mindful of the things that may impact your coders and your billers. And as coders and billers, when you look at that note, you're going to be mindful of the things that can impact those clinicians. So again, you work together as a partnership and becoming certified, it just shows everyone involved that you're knowledgeable about medical billing and coding in that arena. You know the procedures, you're competent and to do the work because you have been validated by the Gold Star organization, AAPC or HEMA. They've given you a certification validating that you know it. And although certification is not required by the states, it's very beneficial for your career advancement and opportunities because once they can trust in you and know that you're going to have accuracy and efficiency and you're going to make sure you're diligent, then that can only make them more confident in you and that will advance your career.
Okay. And I just have a question out of curiosity. If you weren't in this field, what other career do you think you would be doing or that you would have chosen or
I
that you
know,
liked a little bit?
you know what? I am so fulfilled in what I'm doing right
Mhm.
now. I know it probably would still be education.
Education.
There's nothing like paying it forward. And so being an adjunct instructor and being able to educate on this level, I just love it. Now, one thing that I do love and what I would like to do is again, I mentioned I was a teenage mom. So one of my goals to do if I ever hit the lottery, I'm going to open up a school or some kind of career center where I can, dedicate it to young, maybe single mothers, maybe underprivileged individuals who did not choose that college or university career path and just give them another opportunity to get themselves on a level playing field. Because I definitely promote college and university education because I come from a family of educators. My grandmother was a teacher. My mom did some teaching in her career. So I promote education, number one. But sometimes we need, just a path to go on until we figure out what we want to do when it comes to college and university. And getting into the business of healthcare arena, that is a perfect outlet for you to be able to earn an income, take care of you and your family, be in a lucrative career where you can advance yourself and you can learn and you can pay it forward and pay into others. So for me, it would probably be education of some sort. It may not look like what I'm doing here today, but I know
Mhm.
it would be education because, again, I think it's just in my DNA.
Okay. And lastly, I just wanted to know if there was any events or ways our students could get more involved and enhance their skills.
Oh,
I don't
yes.
know if you know of any.
Most definitely. Yes, they want to check into the business of healthcare, check any of those webinars,
Mhm.
conferences, seminars. I do classes in education every year in November. I have my JMCI colloquium, and it's an event that I do virtually, and I bring on anywhere from 8 to about 16 presenters. And I offer CEUs for a very nominal, affordable cost, and you can get education and information about the business healthcare arena. We talk about specialties, we talk about billing, we talk about coding, auditing. Sometimes we talk about how to just prepare a resume. Because some people that small step is something that people need to take them to that next level. They're not sure what all needs to be in their resume to make them marketable. But yes, definitely get into some webinars, education seminars. They're all over. Check Google University. Go out there and search Google University, YouTube University, so that you can find all of this education that's out there. AAPC, AHEMA, and NAMUS, they all put on several business of healthcare webinars and education opportunities that people can go to and get any kind of learning education about the business of healthcare arena.
Okay. Well, I feel like that went fairly quick a little
I
bit,
know, right? It did.
but
Probably my fast talking, right? Well, I tell you, one thing about it is I love, and I will tell you, this is what I did when I got ready to start my business. I was fortunate that I had a lot of colleagues that already had started or went before me, and I networked. And I think one of the mistakes a lot of people make is they're afraid to ask others, how did they do it? They're afraid to ask, what did you do to make your business successful? That's one thing I wasn't afraid of. I reached out and I connected with people. I had people who were willing to partner with me and they showed me the way. And some of them had been through some trying experiences and they were so willing to give me the information to say, this is what I did wrong. This is where I went wrong. Here's this information so you don't have that same challenge. And I networking and connecting and partnering with others to get information, I think is so valuable. And I love LinkedIn. Social media, I know some people frown on it, but if it's done in the right way for the right reasons, it could be so valuable to your career. I kind of kicked my career off. It was so funny. I did it like right before the pandemic. I got where I knew I wanted to start teaching classes, and I ran up on a platform that I found. Luckily, I had already partnered with AAPC, and I was a licensed instructor, and I got certified as an instructor with them. So it gave me the opportunity to be able to use their curriculum to help me to shape my courses and classes to be able to train others, because that's the one joy that I have. I always talk about paying it forward. Had I not had that one person back when I was in high school finishing to start my life to tell me about that unit secretary program, I don't know what path I would have went on. And so I love to take that and pay it forward. So I'm always sharing, I'm always giving out information. And I think that's the one part that helped me the best is just connecting. Because I have a colleague and she always says, one of us by herself, we don't know. But when we put us all together, oh my God, we can know everything, right? Because everybody bringing their little nuggets. So I think for me, it was networking and it was getting with others to find out what's the best way to do this. How can I make sure I'm successful? How can I make sure I don't fall in some of those mistakes and tragic errors that others have had?
mhm. And could you tell me maybe like two standout qualities that our students or just anyone would need to be successful in this profession?
You just, oh my God, you have to have tenacity,
Yes.
okay, and perseverance. And I'm going to give a next one, endurance. Okay. You're not going to always be on top. Okay. But you can't let those moments that you're at the bottom or moments where you are disappointed in yourself because you expected more to make you stop. You only fail when you quit. Okay. So no matter what you run into, I say always have that diligence, perseverance, stay humble, okay? Because you always want to be humble so that you can always be open. Sometimes if we get where we're not humble, it can close us off. And you don't want to be closed off. I tell everyone, even in me teaching, even last night, I just told my students, they taught me something. It's like we all can learn from each other. It doesn't matter that I'm the instructor. I can learn from my students. So it's like you always have to stay humble and be willing to be open so that people can pour into you and always pay it forward. Always pay it forward.
Well, I definitely wish you were one of my teachers back then.
Oh, you're so sweet. Thank you so much. I want to thank y'all so much from the bottom of my heart, too, for this opportunity. It's been my honor to serve today with my fellow Louisianians at Xavier University. I love it. That is such an honor.
Well, thank you too. We appreciate it. And thank you for everyone who listened today. Again, my name is Carys Ross, and
Yes,
thank you.
it's my honor to serve.